Hello everybody and welcome back once more to Lucid9. We are in the middle of an investigation and I am the OutbackAl.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
And I'm MV Jitters.
We're trying to figure out what is in our brain that needs to get out of our brain, but also into our brain that we gotta realize. I don't know. Something's happening. We're talking to shadows of the people that we know in our mindscape. But you know what? We did remember something. A location ping from Miki. Did we arrange something? I don't recall any recent conversations with her.
Yeah, it was you, actually. You sent me a location ping by accident.
She's the killer.
Why did the colors change?
Right.
You mistapped because my name was right under...
Wait, mistapped because my name and his name are right next to each other.
Yahiko Yakari?
It's all coming up, Yahiko! When I think about it, everything fits too well. Yahiko Akari started the Happy Club and is connected with 3 recent deaths, Akane, Shoji, and Haru. And before that, he also knew Midori and Toma.
He's just a popular dude.
Wait. Were they all
And-
members of the Happy Club?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Oh, shit!
It's all coming up, Yahiko. And he would know a lot about the Academy security and technology,
That's
maybe even more than the
true.
average faculty member, being the son of higher-ups at Lemniscate. And I've seen how in the blink of an eye he can shift from joy to depression, almost as if he has perfect control over how he wants his emotions to be
Wait
seen.
a minute. Is Miki an accomplice?
Quite possibly.
Maybe.
And he knows me, knows the code to my apartment, knows my schedule, knows my actions and my reactions. And he was there.
Oh,
At
he
the
was-
we said a while ago about him being the murderer.
Yeah.
You know,
he
to be
was
fair,
real suspicious.
We've gone through basically everyone as the murderer at this point. At the murder of Haru, Yahiko Ikari was there. He had coincidentally run into me, seemed flabbergasted that I was there, so kindly offered to cover for me. Yahiko Ikari, my former roommate.
They were roommates.
Yep.
I am your father's cousin's brother's former roommate.
So what does that make us?
Absolutely nothing. My friend.
Well, isn't that just so damn typical? The serial killer can't just be some random chump off the street. No, he has to be someone that's close to me.
Well, we would not be the main character otherwise.
Yeah.
But as my fury intensifies, as black anger, nausea, everything solidifies the blood in my body, Misaki's image fizzles into Masato. What kind of friend are you, man? You know it ain't Yahiko. You've known him for 2 years. I spit bitterly. It was a big one.
Yeah? Give me some proof. I'd love to believe it.
For starters, you got no proof that some big shot organization just hacked out your lock. Might be tough to break for one person, but ain't even a sneeze for a team of pros.
So you're saying the serial killer could actually be an organization, and they decided to frame me when I caught one of their members killing Haru in District 6?
Well, yeah, something like that.
What?
Then something doesn't make sense.
No.
If the killer, or organization, whatever, weren't close to me, it's weird that...
I'm still alive. Haru's phone was in my apartment. Academy students were targeted. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Why not just kill us?
It's weird, because I'm still alive. Why wouldn't they just kill me? Witness to the crime scene, out by myself in District 6?
They wanted to frame you, man. Framing someone who's alive does a whole lot more than framing someone who's dead, especially if you can't really defend yourself.
But that's the thing. How could they know that I couldn't defend myself?
Huh?
The only people who could possibly know about my lapses are ones who are close to me. Really close.
It's Mr. Ryota.
Rui and Misaki for sure, but then there's maybe you and Yahiko. Which means that the killer could only have been one of those 4 people. It can't be Rui. It can't be Misaki. And well, I'm pretty sure it can't be you either.
How do you know?
Yeah.
But you don't
Yeah.
think that way for Yahiko.
You want me to list the evidence alphabetically or chronologically?
I don't know yet.
I can't believe it, but Yahiko actually fits.
Jinkies!
Oh,
that took a minute, didn't it? It took a second to register. Let me ask you one more thing, man. Do you really think that Yahiko's the serial killer?
I just told you that.
Do you really believe? Like you believe the sun will rise every morning and I'll badger you into track every day that Yahiko's the man?
I'm just a little confused as to why. Like, what is his motivation?
I don't know.
That's my only question.
He wanted to disband the Happy Club.
I
What
connect
he
you all
started?
here
Yeah.
for sacrifices.
Right, he's part of a cult or something.
You never know, man.
Wow.
No.
I don't. I honestly don't. Everything goes against him, but for some reason I just can't imagine that Yahiko would be the serial killer. But isn't that shallow-minded? Isn't that foolish? Couldn't my reluctance lead to Rui's death? Stop looking up spoilers. Right then. Masato's image fizzles into Akira, sorry, who jabs an energetic finger in my direction.
Listen. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Righto, cheerio. Time to think of this from another angle. We got ourselves some tricks up our metaphorical sleeve, Sarge, so don't give up yet.
Yeah, no offense, but you're not exactly the person I want for logical thinking.
Oh, but what you need and what you want are two completely different things, like dying versus not dying.
Okay.
Well, what do you suggest then?
Not dying.
Well, you have a suspect now, right?
E?
Don't flip the turtles out before you've proved whether he's guilty or
Don't
innocent.
flip the turtles out.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's weird.
That's like counting your chickens before the avian flu strikes and wipes them all off the face of the planet.
Too close to home.
Yeah. Out of space.
That's a metaphor, I guess.
So, find proof of Yahiko's innocence.
Easier said than done. Much easier said than done.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Sarge. You've got some things stewing in that brain of yours.
Such as...
Akira suddenly morphs into Misaki.
Don't you remember how the killer forgot about the phone's wall charging feature? Yahiko loves technology as much as I do. Not to mention that his parents work at Lumna Schemes. Oh, that is true. If he were the killer, do you really think he would have forgotten something so simple? It's very true.
That's, well, right, but by itself, it's pretty weak.
Misaki fizzles out, allowing Elizabeth to take center stage.
And think, how does Haru mishap really? What does Haru's mishap really imply? Remember, in his panicked last moments, he was attempting to send a location ping to Yahiko, but his finger slipped on you instead.
Yeah, if Yahiko is the killer, why would he send a ping to Yahiko?
Yeah.
I'm right here, take me! Oh, of course.
Who's the other person it could be then?
Mr. Risotto.
He's very suspicious.
Why didn't I see that before? Haru was trying to send a location ping to Yahiko to... distract him, bait him, get help. Haru wanted to... Oh, yeah, but...
I'm just picturing Yama in the middle of that subway station, just talking to himself, and people are just like...
No one's there. You can
one's
talk to yourself
there.
as much as you want when no one's there. I do it all the time.
Well, if someone comes down.
Then you know what? You're gonna look like... You know, he's already wanted for murder. I don't think, like, social weirdness of talking to yourself in public is gonna be that high on his priority list.
Yeah.
Haru wanted to let Yahiko know that he was in danger. If Yahiko saw that he was in District 6, well, I think that even Yahiko would know that something was wrong.
Correct. Also, Haru must have eventually been able to get a signal through.
Because he showed up, even if it was after me. Not only that, but he had already called the police.
I'm trying to help you, dude. You have to get out of here, now.
Why would I?
Go! Leave!
I do like that everyone is getting a chance to voice stuff.
Yeah.
Which means that...
Your entire basis for suspecting Yahiko Akari is now null and void.
But now we're back to where we started, where we don't have a suspect.
Except for Mr. Risotto, and Rui, and Misaki, and literally everyone.
Okay, why isn't he considered Ryudo, though? Like, at all?
Because he's his friend?
Because everybody else is too.
A little part of me relaxes before I realize that this doesn't actually solve anything. Rui's gone, and I'm nowhere closer to discovering the killer than I was before I started thinking.
The reason I think that he hasn't considered him is because he trusts him.
Yeah.
Well, he's
It's always people
probably
we
the
trust.
killer then.
Rui is still in danger. Maybe it's just that cop that we think is creepy.
Maybe.
Rui is still in danger. I'm still a runaway convict. A serial killer's still running amok, having his little grim parties. Is there nothing I can do? Nothing?
Wait one moment. Think. Why did Haru not notify the police before he began tailing the killer? Like me, he is a capable individual. We don't just miss such things.
Why indeed? Why wouldn't Haru have requested backup, or at least given an anonymous tip? He doesn't trust the police. He didn't want to alert the killer. He lost access to his phone. My thoughts are he didn't trust the police, because the police officer is the serial killer, who might have access to the campus to begin with, being a law enforcement officer.
I don't know, what should we say?
Well, he didn't lose his phone.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I'm kind of thinking the second one for some reason.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I feel like 1 and 2 are almost the same thing, because if the killer's connected to the police, either way,
Yeah.
you couldn't trust the police and you would alert the killer. But yeah, let's go with the middle.
Okay.
Maybe he thought that if he spoke with the police, the killer would somehow learn about it and start playing safe. But that leads to a different assumption.
Oh,
The
wait.
assumption that the killer would somehow learn about any information told to the police.
Is it Shigure?
We've been working for the killer the whole time. In other words, the police are corrupt. If that's the case, then it would make sense why Haru wouldn't contact them. Simply put, he didn't trust them.
There you go.
Didn't trust them. Why? A personal traumatic encounter? Previous difficulties in dealing with law enforcement? Or could it be something else? Or could it be that Haru saw something in the police, something that he never could forget?
I think that was you.
Oh God, what voice did I give him?
You gave him a deeper voice.
You know him more than I do. What is your opinion on the matter?
He was my errand boy.
It's them. It's both of them. There was someone else on the end of that phone call to clean up afterwards. Who
That's
better to clean up
true.
than the person who investigates?
Yeah.
You claim to be good at reading people. Are you saying that you misread the suspect?
I am not wrong.
That's her husband. Or something, I don't know. Then you agree that Yama Ishimoto is the prime suspect. Just like we set him up to be.
I agree.
Could Haru have seen corruption? Why is it that a student was the first one to think of camping outside the school and tailing the serial killer? Why is it the investigation force didn't even go through the school, scouring the area for any evidence on the killer? Why is it that no city CCTV ever turned up with any results?
That is a good question.
Because they had access, man. They had access. What if all this time, sitting behind the curtain, watching us dance, the police was just there, laughing, watching us run in fear as they pretend that they're trying to protect us?
Yeah.
And that would mean Haru died for nothing. Yahiko called for nothing. And now Rui will disappear, will be shredded to pieces, will be left to rot for nothing. And there's nothing, not one damn thing, that I can do. Catch the killer, find the evidence, package him up, and ship him to the police department. He'll just walk free because it was all part of the plan. Or, worse yet, they won't even catch him. They'll have him surrounded, and he'll miraculously break free, and they'll give chase like a bunch of fools. And Rui will die for nothing. Rui, with her fiery passion and her love and her endless enthusiasm for her dear ones, will pass into the fate of nihilism, where there is no intrinsic value, no purpose, no beneficial weight to her sacrifice for me. She'll be remembered, maybe by a memorial for victims who were the targets of a horrifying serial killer who will, maybe, one day be brought to justice.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That would be her only identity, a murder victim, a girl who had her whole life ahead of her, one more poor soul in the annals of injustice. No one would know her smile, or her little quips, or the way she bit her lip when she was nervous about something. No, the name Rui Hayata would only bring nods of pity and despondent sighs, and if she's really lucky, fuel for a movement for treatment of mental illness or weapon control or some other political objective. And then, as days pass on, as time becomes months and years and decades, she'll be forgotten forever. Drowned out in the names of other victims who will be remembered with nothing but nods of pity and despondent sighs. Nothing but non-existence.
Wanda!
Wanda suddenly appears and stares at me with such intensity that I swear she's almost real. Do not lose focus. Her image blurs at the edges, rounding out, hair turning orange, and... Really?
Gosh, you're a wreck. What happened?
You happened. I open my mouth. A feeble, unintelligible noise bleeds out.
You try to do too much, Yama. That's the problem. You want to do everything, but everything becomes so overwhelming that you just end up doing nothing.
What a mood.
You can only do what you can. The rest is out of your hands.
I can only do what I can?
Yeah, and right now, all you can do is figure out who the killer is.
I think we knew that.
Yeah. You're up for that much, right? So, you're stuck because you think the killer has to be you, me, Yahiko, or Masato, right?
I mean, we've named other people, but I guess you're not aware of that.
I guess.
My voice comes out very small. I squash the temptation to reach out, touch her jacket, her hair, anything. Because right now, she's not real. Right now, she might even be...
Are you paying attention?
Not really.
No.
Wow, I think I finally know what it's like to be one of your teachers.
I cough out a cross between a chuckle and a snort. It's so close to reality, but it's not.
Then, all-knowing teacher, what do you have to say?
Well, your passcode is literally so stupid that anyone who saw it just once could get in.
But that's not the problem. The problem is that the killer knows about my lapses.
No. Wait.
Yodo.
There's something strikingly familiar about what she said. Didn't she mention this before? Didn't she say something like this before? There's something vitally important about that statement. Your passcode is literally so stupid that anyone who saw it just once could get in. What sticks out so much? Your passcode, anyone, just once.
Just once.
Guess what to find out next time. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and feel free to check out some of our other gaming videos, our weekly podcast, Anime Yay or Nay, or our parody series, Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!